Given y varies directly as x, is this your homework or your notes, by the way? We have given y varies directly as x. As soon as you say directly, you know is y equals kx. Instead of writing like this, of course, I was making a little mistake. I would say y equals kx. That's your direct variation. Write the direct variation. Now, they gave me the y value is 27 when x is equal to 6. So I will go ahead and plug in 27 and 6. It means that 27 is equal to k times 6. Let's go ahead and solve for the only thing that we don't know. What don't we know here? K. And how do I get k alone? Divide both sides by 6. So, can I divide 27 by 6? No, but what can I, once it's simplified, what do you get? 4.5 or 9 over 2. So I can say now, I will come back and rewrite the equation as y equals what? I can say 4.5x, or I can also say y equals 9 over 2x. Which one is correct? They're both correct. All right, let's look at the second one. The second one now says, given y varies directly. As soon as it says directly, what equation should I write? Directly is kx. And now they gave me an information. They say y is equal to 6.5 when x is equal to what? 13. So what do I need to do? Divide by 13. And if you divide 6.5 by 13, you get 1/2 or 0.5. So k is equal to 1/2. This one we say k was equal to 9 over 2 or 4.5. 1/2, 0.5, same thing. It's just that sometimes you will not be able to give me the decimal value. So once you reach this point, you can rewrite the whole equation as y is equal to 1 over 2x. And of course, I will also accept y equals 0.5x. It's the same thing. Let's do a word problems relating to this. It says that, yes. This time we have a word problem, and it says the cost of an item in euros, E, varies directly as the cost of the item in dollar, D. We no longer have X and Y. They're telling us what the variables are. So let's go ahead and try to write this equation. As you read, you can write. If you can read it, you can write it. The first thing that came out, or that came on the sentence is which letter? E. So I would say E. The verb is always the equal sign. So when they say the cost of an item in euro E, I write E. Varies. Varies. Directly means K times the item of dollar D. You get that equation? Yes. Now, they give us the value of E. E is equal to 3.85 euros. So I'll write 3.85 here is actually equal to K times, what's the value of D? 5. Times 5. You can put 5.00 or 5, stay 5 euros. So you will divide both sides by, and what do you get for K? What was that? Let's do 0.77. Now, why do I use 0.77? It's because we're talking about dollars. I don't mind having that exact fraction of decimal. So I will rewrite this one now as y equals what? It's not y, I got you there. It's E equals 0.77 D. And that will be the final answer. Now that we have the equation, let's go ahead and answer the last question. It says, find D when E is equal to 10 euro. In other words, what do I plug in 10 for? E. Find D when E is 10 euros. So E is 10. So I will say 10 is equal to 0.77 D. Divide both sides by 0.77 and you get D is equal to what? 12.98. Yes. The perimeter, look at this, the new variables. The perimeter P, what should I write as read that? P of a regular dodecagon. What's a dodecagon? How many sides? 12 sides. So polygons with 12 sides. Varies directly, so it's equal to K times the side length S. Usually we call, what letter do we usually use for the length? L, but here they call it S. You better use S as they call it. Because you put L, I will not know what you're talking about. So I know P is equal to KS. And P is equal to 18. So I will go ahead and plug in 18 for P. I will say 18 is equal to K times 1.5. So go ahead and divide 18 by 1.5. You get K is equal to 12. What's the unit of K, guys? K has no unit. K is called the constant of variation, meaning it's just a number. Alright, it's the same thing as if I say, what's the unit of pi? It has no unit. Alright, let's go ahead and write the equation. That will be P is equal to 12S. Now, they say find S when the perimeter is 75. In other words, by the way, this is S. My S looks like a 5, but it's S, okay? So let's go ahead and plug in 75 is equal to 12 times S. So divide both sides by 12. We get S is equal to 6.25 inches. Without inches is also a little wrong. Alright, here's a different approach. This time we're talking about inversely proportional. So for inversely proportional, I will go ahead and start by writing y is equal to k over x. Inverse means it's not on the same line. Direct means straight line, kx. Inverse is k over x. Alright, and it says, and y equals 4 when x equals 5. In other words, 4 is equal to k over 5. So what is the value of k if you cross multiply? 20. So I can rewrite the whole equation as final answer on this one will be y is equal to 20 over x. Still easy, right? Now, the time t needed to complete a certain race varies inversely as the runner's average speed s. So the time t varies inversely as the speed s. And the next one says if the runner does what? With an average speed of 8.82 miles per hour. So which one do we have? K, S, or T? S, 8.82. And you complete the race in 2.97 hours. Go ahead and cross multiply and give me the value of K. 26.19. Now that I have the value of K, I will go ahead and plug in and I will say the equation is T is equal to 26.19 over S. This is S, not 5. That's just the equation. But let's read what they're asking me to find. They say, what is the average speed of a runner who complete the race in 3.5 hours? This 3.5 hours, what does it represent? The time, right? So let's go ahead and plug in. Having the time is equal to 3.5. So I will say 3.5 is equal to 26.19 over S. Now, what operation will it end up being? You put that over 1, right? And cross multiply. 3.5 over S is equal to 1 over 26. So if you cross multiply, you get 3.5 S is equal to 26.19, right? Divide by 3.5. So S is equal to 7.48 miles per hour. On 7, it says, given y varies inversely as x and y equals 4 when x equals 10, write the inverse function. I'm giving you 2 minutes to complete it.
Well, I'm right.
Anyways, let's look at problem number 9. You understand? 7 and 8, right?
Yeah.
All right, number 9 says the volume V of a cone. As soon as I see the volume V, I write V. So I will say V of a cone varies jointly. Jointly, meaning Y equal, I keep typing with K. Y equals K times X times Z. It has jointly means we have now more than just 2 variables. We have 3. So the volume V of a cone, I write V. Varies, I write equal. Jointly means I have a K. As the area of the base B, meaning times B, and the height H. Now, let's go ahead and plug in values. They say V is equal to 12 pi when K remain K. B is equal to 9 pi. And H is equal to 4. What's the first step? Divide by pi and by 9 and by 4. Or divide by 36 pi. So if I want to rewrite this, I will say 12 pi is equal to K times 36 pi. You understand what I just did, right? I just multiplied the 9 pi and the 4. So from here, I will divide both sides by 36 pi to get K is equal to 12 divided by 36 is 1/3. So K is 1/3. So if I want to now write the equation, I will say V is equal to 1/3 of BH. Note that this is just the equation. It's not our final answer. And from here they say, find B when V is equal to, by the way, this is capital B, the area of the base. Find capital B when V is equal to 24 and H equals 9. So I will say 24 is equal to 1/3 of B times what? Times 9. Yes, there's a pi there. Thank you. So I would go ahead and do what? What's 9 divided by 3? 3. So if I take it back up here, I will still have 24 pi's is equal to 3 b's. You see what I just did, right? Now I will divide by 3 both sides to get b is equal to what? 8 pi, keep going. B is 8 pi. Normally it's area of the base. It's not supposed to be cube. If it's an area, it's supposed to be square. And that's your final answer. So even here it's supposed to be kept square. But again, match the unit that is given. The last one is the lovely one, and I'm giving you 3 minutes. All right, let's look at it. It says the lateral surface area L, so I start by writing L, of a cone varies jointly, so I write K, as the area of the base radius R, and the slant height L. I think that's an L or I. Well, I put this lowercase l. So, and L is equal to 63, so I will put 63 here with a pi, equals K. R is equal to 3.5. What's wrong with this? Guys, this is a little tricky. What is tricky about it is this. They say the lateral surface area L of a cone varies jointly as the area of the base radius R. We need the area of the base radius R. What's the area of the base of the cone? Base of the cone, what is the shape? Circle. What's the area of a circle? Pi r squared. So the first thing I need to do is note that area of the base radius R is actually pi r squared. So when writing this, I would start it all over. I will say L varies K times the area of the base, which is pi r squared, and the length and the slant height at L. I'll put the lowercase l. So from here, I will go ahead and plug in the values. It says that L is 63 pi, K remain K. Do we know the radius 3.5? That will be pi times 3.5 squared. Do we know the slant height? Yes, 18. So what I will do first is do 3.5 squared times 18. What do you get? What was that? 220.5 K times 220.5 pi. Now I will divide both sides by 220.5 pi to get K is equal to. By the way, was this approximately or was it equal? It was equal. And what's K? Is it equal? And what? Is it? I don't know. Give me the X. And is it equal? Exact? Since it's an estimate, we cannot write it. I will just write 63 over 220.5. Remember, you do not want estimates here because you will write an equation based on it. So I write that whole thing. Now, we're solving for K. So we want to move stuff away from K. 2 over 7 is our K. So the whole equation would be L is equal to 2 over 7 pi r squared in the lowercase l. Now let's go ahead and plug in to find the last one. It says L is equal to 8 pi. So I'll put 8 pi here. Can y'all see that? Okay. And I have 2 over 7. Remain 2 over 7. Pi remain pi. Do we know the R? No, we don't know. We call it R squared. And do we know L? 5. So let's go ahead and group all the numbers. But the first thing I will do before even grouping anything, get rid of the pi. Pi is everywhere. Right? I can easily get rid of pi. Once I get rid of pi, I will go ahead and multiply this to get 8 is equal to 10 over 7 pi. Oh, the pi went away. 10 over 7 r squared. You still good so far? So to get rid of the over 7, I multiply by and divide by 10. So that would be 8 times 7 over 10 is equal to r squared. Who will give me this value? R squared is equal to 5.6. So r is actually equal to square root of 5.6, which is approximately 2.4. Now you understand, normally I should put plus and minus, but because we're talking about a radius, we can't consider the negative side. So the final answer is r is equal to 2.4 what? Approximate. Quit crying.